And welcome to WCFL Dolphins Talk. I'm going to do the best I can today. I have no internet at the house, so I'm working on my phone. Um, Please just bear with us. I'm going to bring on our co-host today, Dolphin Winners, and Miss Pamela will be here for a short little bit.
What's going on? Hey, what's up, Miss Pam?
Not my hopes or my dreams.
We got this. We got a lot to talk about, darling. I'm happy that you were able to join us this afternoon. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule and day to join us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, guys, so much.
I think we can sit there and just stand on the ball where the floor fell from underneath us, and we have a lot of work to do. A very lot. I like to just thank everybody that's tuning in on this Monday afternoon. Would be sitting there saying a secondary therapy Monday for us as well.
Yeah.
It was. I watched the game at Buffalo Wild Wings here in Philly yesterday, and it was hard having the Eagle game on one TV, the Dolphins and Bills on the other, and the manager is a fucking Bills fan. That doesn't make any sense. Yes. So it was a sickening feeling when we just 7-7. I'll say this: 7-7. I felt good.
Yep. 14-14. Yep.
Yeah. And I felt like we still were in the game, and then all of a sudden, I don't understand that we just forgot the straight fundamentals of tackling.
Well,
it made me sick to my stomach of what I was seeing out there from our defense as a whole.
Yeah. And one of the things that I thought was crazy was, I get what zone defense is. I get it. But the zone that we were playing, I've said this morning, was like the ozone. We were out in outer space somewhere covering these guys and literally watching them take 6 yards, waiting for the receiver to catch the ball and then making the tackle if they made it, just like you said, Dolphin Winners.
Pam, I really believe that I was watching a street fucking football game where the guy said, just go to the red car. I guarantee you'll be open. And seriously, it was just open. And it was just a sad set. We paid, Paul will be the first person to say it, and I'll say it also. I was the very first advocate for Vic Fangio, and he's supposed to be this guy. And I understand this is only week 4, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to be honest with you. I am not happy.
I'm not either. And, okay. Hey, Dolphins Thirsty.
Adam Sadowski, whoever's on Facebook, I can't see. I don't have internet at home, so we're doing the best we can. Hello, Colin LaRoche. And I think that's about it for right now that I can see. I'm not blaming any one person. I think there should have been, he never pressured the quarterback. What happened to doing any of that?
Yeah. And the like I was saying, the cushion, like, I don't understand why you leave that kind of space on a zone. A zone isn't supposed to work where you just give them, 6 yards, a first down every time you turn around. The only person I saw that looked like they were ready to play, although a lot of people want to call out Christian Wilkins, but Christian Wilkins was double teamed a lot. But AVG came out ready to play, and he played hard the entire game. I didn't see that.
Yeah. I will say, and I agree with Coach Mike McDaniels. He even said that it's how it's pronounced is Devon Achane, not A-Chain.
Okay.
Achane. A-Chain is a nickname, actually, though. But Devon Achane is going to see more time. I mean, he had 8 carries for over 100 yards yesterday. A long of 55.
Yeah, Bloom and
And
Barrios looked great.
and Mostert really didn't do a whole lot yesterday.
He couldn't hold on to the ball. He couldn't hold on to the ball yesterday.
That
I know
was
there were,
backbreaking.
yeah, to say the least. The whole game was backbreaking in a lot of ways. I'm not blaming the offense. I blame more the defense than I do ever the offense, really, as of yesterday's game.
Paul, I was about to say that because I will say this. You're saying that you can't blame one person. I am going to sit there and put it on Vic. I'm going to put it on Vic Fangio. I'm sorry. You have to sit there, and Coach McDaniel gets a blame for this as well, knowing that he's the head coach. I just feel that they did not make any adjustments. One thing that I seen constantly from the Buffalo Bills yesterday, they were punching the ball up the gut on us, and we could not stop it. That was
over and
when they were getting 2 to 3 yards up the gut.
I didn't have a chance to look at the stats of yesterday's game or anything because, like I said, I have no internet. But they did not put as many yards on the run, I don't think, as we did.
I can help you out with this, and Pam can probably help out also as well. Yeah. I actually looked, somebody put it up on Twitter this morning, the stats, and what's so fucking crazy is, what killed us was the penalties. The penalties is what killed us, and literally the stats were not that far off from each other, for the exception of the 0-3 for us going on the 4th and 4 down plays and stuff like that. We were 0 for 3 for that. But if you look at the stats, they ran 56 plays to our 58. We had more yards running just by a little bit. They had more yards passing just by a little bit, maybe 40, 50 yards. The stats weren't that bad. Well, they weren't that far off. It was just the gameplay. The gameplay was different. They wanted it way more than we wanted it. And that's just what it came down to yesterday.
Well,
I don't know. Real quick, shout out to John Gideon. Mr. Polk, Crazy Dolphin, he's out there.
Hey, Mr. Polk.
I gotta say that what Jim Kelly did to John Gideon's brother or the other guy's brother was ridiculous. I don't know if you saw that yet, Winners.
No, I didn't.
I shared it.
I shared it on Twitter as well. Jim Kelly passed by a Buffalo Bills flag and put an X on the guy's Dolphins emblem that he had hanging on his chest.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
I mean, that's what I was putting in the group and on Twitter as well. I put it in 2 groups. Their low class fandom starts at the top.
Well, you have a guy who went to 4 Super Bowls and couldn't win one, so he's going to take it out on everybody else.
What a scumbag. I hope people call him out. What an absolute scumbag. And that guy needs to sue him. Just take him to small claims court. Sue his little ass.
Yep, I would too. Yeah. I agree. Seriously.
Who does he think he is? I mean, I'm telling you, low class.
It was one that was on foam, it didn't have the plastic coating on it, so it won't come out.
Right.
And he just got it.
I can tell you what Dolphin Winners said about our stats. He's exactly right. The stats are almost identical, with the exception of penalties or the lack thereof. I went back and I went over that game again this morning. I haven't recorded.
That should have been flagged on Buffalo.
Yeah, and I saw a lot that were on us that were ridiculous. That touchdown that was called back, the lineman downfield. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That was we lose a touchdown, and the worst one, I'm sorry, I've watched football a long time. You are not going to tell me that because the ball is outside the play of the field, if the runner is inbounds and he reaches for a first down, it is a first down.
Absolutely. I was sitting there saying the same thing myself.
And you've got Romo and Nance going, well, the ball was outside the field of play. It was on the white. If it's on the white, if the ball is reached out past the white, what are they talking about? What are
has
they
never been
talking about?
stated before in history.
Ever. Did it change yesterday at 3:02 when that play happened? I'm just saying. I cannot believe that those referees called that. And then you get the guy that they're, checking with, the head referee. Yes, I agree with that. Are you kidding me? I have never in my whole life, and that is just typical of the crap that happens. And you think our coach doesn't know the rule? He threw the challenge flag because he knows the rule. Oh, I just, And yes, we did it a lot to ourselves as far as Tua throws the interception. Mostert drops the ball and turns it over. I mean, he got lucky one time because Barrios recovered it. But good Lord, to have the referees, make up a rule, make up parameters of a rule.
Pam, I warned you about this earlier. Didn't we have this conversation a couple weeks ago on this platform? I did warn you that, the referees and gambling and all that will come into factor since gambling is now legal. So what I keep telling everybody is you're going to get some calls and you're going to be scratching your head like, what? So
but to make up a rule, I mean, if your call is wrong, like if you know what I'm saying? If your call is wrong and you think about the touchdown that they gave them, clearly not a touchdown, clearly short of the end zone for them. And okay, great, you get it wrong, you get to review it, you still get it wrong? No, they didn't get it wrong. They cheated. And would they have gotten in anyway? Maybe. But you don't know that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some of the comments. Chef Jew, you're right. We're going to get him back.
Yeah, I'll be down there for that game. I can't wait for that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, Dolphins.
Hate this stuff. Trying to get that one to come off, and it's just, there we go. Yeah, good afternoon, Chef. I think we all, need to check our pulse. We have the next two games and then the Philly invasion.
Yeah.
We got to make major improvements. We got to we have to win the next two games and make major improvements before we hit Philly.
I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not to cut you off, Paul. I'm going to tell you guys that's watching right now, and I want y'all to heed my words. Literally, I watched both games at the same time. And I'm going to tell you something about this Philadelphia team. The Philadelphia team ain't nothing to be played with at all. They know how to turn it up on defense. They know how to turn it up on offense. A.J. Brown is not to be played with. These players are not to be played with up in here, and they have heart. And they just grinded out a divisional win in overtime, which it shouldn't have went into overtime because when we left, it was 31-24 Philly. When we were on my way to one of my friend's house to watch the wrestling pay-per-view yesterday, Washington tied the game up. And I clearly stated in preseason, one team that I was afraid of to go against in our schedule is Washington. We're going to be facing Washington. So I'm going to let you guys know we have a lot of work to do on our defense. And I will promise you this, if we can't get our running game, because Connor Williams was a huge loss yesterday, you can clearly state and see that when we miss a piece out of our team, it slowly but surely showed. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Eichenberg, he tried. Mm-mm.
It was
I
it was upsetting in multiple facets of that game, and I think like
well,
I was
I
saying,
want to know. I understand Connor Williams was out. I knew he was questionable. I wasn't sure on him. But what happened with Deshaun Elliott and all these other players that ended up being out?
I have no idea. I don't know. They just made them. They didn't activate them or just said they had injuries or whatever. But I don't know, Paul. I really don't. I all I can say is we have to concentrate against the Giants, and what the Giants like to do, they like to run the rock. And if Saquon is back for next week, we're gonna have a problem.
Saquon is a
Well,
beast. But I have to tell
I,
you too, though, did you notice the announcers talking about, Barfalo had a player out? Like they're missing this guy. They're going to really miss him. And I'm thinking, why are you talking about them with one player out? Do you know how many players we have out? Like I mean, I just wanted to puke all day long yesterday. Ugh.
I didn't get a chance to hear any commentary since like I said, I was in
Good for
Buffalo
you.
already, and I'm in Eagles County, so since I'm in Eagles country, I'm hearing the commentary from the Eagles game. I'm not hearing no commentary from any other game.
You
But
didn't
just
miss anything.
so yeah, so I mean at least I
Yeah.
got a chance to watch it. I didn't get a chance. I'm happy I didn't get a chance to listen to the commentary because it probably would have pissed me off more than what I was already was.
I
You know.
can tell you one comment you missed that you will be sorry you missed, and you can go back and find it, is when Romo called Joshy Allen soft because he does that flail, where he flings himself to the ground, is really bad acting job. And
yes.
they first they're like, oh, that should be a flag, and then they go back and they looked at it, and Romo goes, oh, that's soft.
I mean, don't be surprised in a probably a year or two they'll have flopping penalties in the NFL as well. I mean,
They need to.
if you got flopping penalties in basketball, you got flopping penalties in soccer. You should have flopping penalties in football as well.
Yep.
And because that's what's going to happen. And just
I mean,
it's no
Josh
room for
Allen is the biggest crybaby out there because every time he got touched, he's looking for a flag.
Oh
And
yeah, he was
over
barking. I
there
remember he was
talking to the
barking.
referees.
Yeah, yeah, I seen that shit. He was barking and
Actually,
referee and all that.
4 times on one drive. 4 times, 3 times on 3 downs, back to back, 3 downs. He's over there talking to the referees. I'm telling you, I just rewatched it. I've made a bunch of little short videos and some comments. I'm going to try and put something together for us. But yeah, over there whining at the refs, throwing himself on the ground. Oh my Lord. I
Pam,
mean, he is a
give me
muffin.
Pam, give me 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen that are on Facebook, all the Facebook users, we are using StreamYard. That is the reason why we do not know who is on Facebook at the moment in time. We do appreciate you tuning in and watching, and we're not ignoring you guys. Thank you for tuning in. You can go ahead and finish, Pam.
Oh yeah, that's I was just gonna say. Like he was just I called him muffin yesterday because he looked like a little muffin over there. Daddy, daddy, he touched me. Oh my gosh, I got flung to the ground. I'm telling you, oh, the
Yeah.
look on AVG's face was priceless. Like he wanted to eat him up so bad.
Mhm. I mean, my whole thing is, I know, ladies and gentlemen, they're saying, I've been hearing this through Twitter. I've been hearing this on Facebook. I've been hearing this it's only one game. I understand it's only one game, but it was against the team that we felt that we were ready to
The
turn.
division rivalry that this was a game that we had to win.
Yes,
We needed
I
it.
fully
We
agree.
did.
So that's why it hurts very much so on this Monday because it doesn't feel like, and like I clearly stated, if that 70
Come
don't
on,
mean
Mr.
nothing,
Cole.
if we didn't beat these guys, and we did not, and we were on
We
the other
didn't.
end of it.
Yeah. And one of the
Well,
things
yeah,
I noticed right away was how we didn't look like we had that intensity going into the game. I didn't see that team that we saw that has been all together the past 3 weeks. Did you see the camaraderie? Did you see, hey, let's go, man. Let's get it together. Let's do our thing. I just didn't see it.
I don't know what happened, Pam, but I can tell you this. I know this. I know everybody in that locker room after that game need to look at themselves in the mirror and sit there and say, did they really do their actual best? Because I can tell you right now,
100%.
I can tell you right now, this game is going to haunt us if we don't turn the page and turn it quickly against New York, against the Giants this week. It can get ugly
It's gonna be
very fast, very quick.
if we don't
100%.
turn the page against the Giants this coming week, it's gonna end up being almost a repeat of last year.
Yep,
Yep.
I agree. I agree. Mr. Paul, hey, what's up, Mr.
Hey,
Crazy
Mr.
Dolphin?
Paul.
Hey, good afternoon. How's it going, Papa Paul, Dolphin Williams, Miss Pamela, my sister? How y'all doing?
My good Finn brother right there.
I missed the game. I missed all the games yesterday because I was out doing a good deed, and I'm glad that it was successful. So I've been getting bits and pieces of what happened with the game, and I just want to say that, don't throwing in the towel yet. Just like you said, Dolphin Winters. We gotta beat the Giants with the game coming up. We got to beat the Giants, and I'm going as far
Yeah,
as say we got to beat the next team too, because
We got to, yeah.
we can't
we
be
have to beat
repeating
the
what we
Giants
did
and the
last
Panthers.
year.
Yeah.
We cannot repeat
No,
what we did
we
last year.
can't have that 3 wins, 3 losses, 5 wins, 5 losses bullshit. No.
Right.
Nope.
We
But
can,
I
Nope.
agree with
Can't do it again.
we can't have that.
I
We
agree
got
with
to.
John O'Hanlon about the coaches need to look in the mirror. But also, thank you, John. I didn't know if you were working today or not, John. But I don't have internet, so we're doing it all on my phone. We're still using Streamyard, and you can join in if you want. I put the link in the chat already. I can do it again. But yeah, we have to win the next 2 games at least. We
Yeah.
have
Got to.
to
Got to.
get out of that rut of like we were last year.
Right, exactly. And then I'm gonna tell you something else too. From what now I'm waiting for the NFL Network to do because more than likely they're gonna do a replay of the game, and I'm gonna try to make sure I see it. But from what I'm hearing, it's a really a repeat of the game we had with them. Was it last year or year before, where we were winning the first 2 quarters, and then we collapsed in the second half of the game.
Well, I'd say we collapsed
We lost
before that.
Oh, we did.
it collapsed in the second quarter, really,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
about mid of the
Oh boy.
second quarter.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's
Start with the
also we
turnovers
had.
and
If you look at it, okay, John, I figured you were working. That's why I didn't send you the link. Um, I there was no way Buffalo should have went that game without a single penalty. No way.
Yeah,
I
because we
mean,
all
if
got.
they
you look
had
at it,
was offsides, which they were lined up offsides repeatedly. Repeatedly.
oh
There were
yeah,
ones they didn't call. I mean, that guy on the end, the same guy over and over, lined up offsides. I went back and, like I said, looked at it again. He got called for it, I want to say 2 or 3 times.
But
well,
didn't.
they
No, go ahead.
go ahead, Mr. Polk.
I started saying I'm. This sounds similar to, and when I say this, I'm not putting it all on bad callings of the referees, but I seen a similar situation when the Patriots kind of had our number as well. When we used to play the Patriots, I used
Oh,
to
yeah.
see some of the same kind of refereeing, but the thing is, if we are a better team, we have to learn to play better so that even with the when referees do their bad callings, we can still beat these teams regardless of the bad play callings. Because we have to get beyond. I understand that, and I've seen bad calls, a lot of bad calls with the referee, especially with the Miami Dolphins. But we got to get better than that so that when they do make their bad calls, we still outplay whatever opponent teams that we play, especially when we're talking about Buffalo and the Patriots. We have to be a better team than what we are. And with Fangio, I was on some other platforms and people are already calling for him to be fired. No, I don't agree with that. Fangio has to,
No,
Fangio has been around for a long time, yes, but this is a new team, and he has to make the adjustments and use the experience to get the team on the right track. So I'm not for firing Fangio. Give him another year
I,
and let's see what happens.
Well, here's the
King,
thing.
you're right.
he's got to. I agree with you somewhat, Mr. Polk, but he's got to do improvements this year. The zone
Yeah.
doesn't work against people like that, especially when you have Cater on Dig.
Hmm.
I mean, Howard should have been on Diggs the whole time.
Yeah, I did not
Right.
understand that, but I also like, the two flags that Cater got called for PI, but that they didn't call that on them the same way all day. That I can
Well,
absolutely point out plays where they never turned around and they were mauling Tyreek and one on Waddle as well. No flag. But Mr. Polk, there was a play yesterday that you will see
Hmm.
where they literally changed the parameters of how you get a first down. That you will
Hmm.
see they're talking about the ball was outside the white line, even though the
Hmm.
player Barrios was inside, uh, feet inside the line, reached over and got a first down. They called it no first down. Coach threw the flag, reviewed it, still no first down. I mean, new rule as far as I know. I never seen that in my life.
Right, but that's why I said that we have to get see. I mean, I could be wrong for saying this for our coaches because really, basically, if you really think about it, we really have two head coaches on our team. We have McDaniels and Fangio. Fangio has the experience where he can see that if something because really, I'm from what I'm hearing we made that same game that I was talking about, where we had Boyer as the defensive coach or coordinator. He stuck with the same plays and what have you. And that's how they beat us in the second quarter. You have to be able to make adjustments. And
There
Fangio,
were
this is what I
none.
do
Yeah.
blame Fangio on. Fangio, you have the experience. You should have made the adjustments. Boyer was does not have the experience that you have. You have experience where you should know to make the adjustment. And then Coach McDaniel, as the head coach, if you seeing that something, you need to go over to Fangio and say, "Listen, hey, we need to change up. We need to make some adjustment. You have to make adjustments before you play your
no,
opponents
we
and during
we
when
agree
you're
with you
playing your
100%,
opponents."
Mr. Polk.
Hmm.
We agree with you 100%. It just it's a little bit of everybody that was going on yesterday. I
Right.
did
I'm
not.
not.
I mean,
Hmm.
Tua
Hmm.
tried in the conference or whatever the media thing. He tried to take the blame for the whole game,
Hmm.
and it was
And that's
not on
being a leader.
Tua.
Right. But
No,
that's showing
no,
leadership.
No,
wasn't on him.
I understand. I understand that's being a leader, but he also needs to be 100% real. You know, he's not going to point out who to blame, but he doesn't need to take the whole blame. He says there's problems that need to be taken. He should have said something like, "There's problems that need to be taken care of,"
Yeah.
but it's on me at this point. That would have
Hmm.
been the right answer, not taking the whole blame for everybody.
Right.
Well, the only thing is I bet it's a different story between what he says in the media and what he says in the locker room. They
Absolutely.
need to be honest with each other and get on each other in the locker room. But you have your teams back, in front of the media. At least that's I think was what he was doing.
Yeah, because even Coach McDaniel's backed him up. Well, backed him up in the sense that saying Coach McDaniel said it wasn't all of his fault.
It
Okay.
wasn't.
Okay.
So
I
yeah,
mean, I'll be honest
there's
with
gonna
you.
be
I
a
mean,
lot
I think
What you
there's
saying,
gonna be a
Dolphin?
lot said and
Oh,
done. All I know is we got to go into next week and win it
yeah.
convincingly.
Right. And the thing is, everybody has to be on cue, the coaches and the players. Because just like y'all saying, it's not just the coaches, it's the players too. They got to step up and do their thing and what have you. And we got it. We got to get these two games. I mean, I'm not overlooking the Giants and what have you, but I'm just saying we gotta beat the Giants. We need to beat the Giants, and we need to beat the next team. Who's that? The Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
We need to
Yes,
beat
we
both
do.
of teams, but we need it. But first, let's concentrate on the Giants first because we can't overlook them. Because just like I said,
No,
they get
one team at a time. One team at one
it
game,
one
one
team
team
at
at
a
a time.
time. And then also that's why I said if you look at the first three games we played, they out there was adjustments made on both offense and defense. And even though with the first game we got gashed, with the second, let me see what with the second. No, what game that was? We got gashed with the second or first game. When we played. Uh, oh my goodness, I'm so upset. I don't even know how. I'm not even thinking straight. When we played, what was that? Let me see. We played the Chargers. We played.
The
Oh my goodness.
Chargers, the Patriots, and then Denver.
And then Denver, right? When we played Denver, that's when it looked like everything was clicking. The defense, the offense, and what have you. So we have to be consistent with that. And then also too, I don't. The wink link on our defense is still that line, and I can't say the reason why because I'm not too sure myself. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that line where they're
Well,
not playing right, and then
I'm
with
a
the
little
linebackers
curious
too.
on why we didn't run the ball more when we were getting yardage with the run.
Well,
Right. If
I'll
it's
be honest with you, we actually were getting yards, but then they started getting hip to that. They started getting
they
hip to that, and they just started shutting it down. And
start
I
shutting it
understand where you
down.
was coming from. I understand where everybody's coming from on this panel, right? I do. But like the way I see it is this, and John said it perfectly. He just said it in the comments. The coaches need to look themselves in the mirror for this one. And I think everybody needs to look themselves
Yeah.
in the mirror for this one. Because
Hmm.
I'll be honest with you, our
Well,
expectations after the Denver game was we were going to go in and we were going to go into Buffalo and punch them in the mouth. Instead, we got punched in the mouth and we
Yeah.
got brought back to reality. That's just the
Yeah.
reality of
yeah.
what it is. So I understand people are calling for Fangio's job, but the stats are the stats. Boyer only gave up when we faced Buffalo, the same Buffalo team last year. We only gave up 19 points to them. We beat them last year. You know what I'm saying? When we had them in
Hmm.
Miami, when we had them up in Buffalo, the game was way closer than what it was. Is Boyer a better coach?
Well,
I'm not going to sit there and do the verdict for that yet because it's only week 4. I'm not going to do that yet. But statistically saying that against Buffalo last year and what he just did against Buffalo, 48 points in your first showing, is not a good look.
Yeah.
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 Well, as Keith Lamb says, there were three bright spots from yesterday's game. One, Achan is a beast. Two, Van Ginkel is playing great. And three, a good day by the special teams.
Okay. Now that's what I
The
hear about the
defensive
special
line
team.
has got to play way better moving forward in the season.
Now, can I ask an opinion of all three? What do y'all think about the tackling? Because I didn't get a chance to see that. What?
It was
Or
awful.
It
was it
was
there?
terrible.
I'll start it off. It was terrible, dude. It was a play where they had Diggs, Total had Diggs wrapped up, and they just sat there and like he just let him go. And he went straight up the sideline for a touchdown.
Wow.
He was at damn, what's that, 40 something, 50 something yards
Hmm.
or a
Okay.
ball, either or. Was that the one he caught it, spun around in the circle with two Miami Dolphin defenders, and he just spun off of
Well,
them
I mean,
and ran
I'll
right
be
beside
honest
him.
with you. I only saw. I didn't see the whole game because I was busy dealing with people at the watch party and selling tickets for the raffle we had and
Right.
selling shirts and other things. But yeah, the tackling was horrible yesterday from what I saw. It was just deplorable.
Yeah. I mean, this was basics, Mr. Paul. Like, you really had to sit there and see it. And when you see how, when you do watch the replay of the game, you can't replay the game on the NFL network. you will see how horrible and horrific the tackling was. It just seemed like our basics just went out the window, and that was a major
Mm-hmm.
issue yesterday.
Well,
I'll be right back. I got to get a drink.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
Papa.
and what I saw too in the tackling was bad angles and bad ideas. There was one time when, I think it was maybe on the second drive of Buffalo, they're going up the sideline and Diggs gets the ball. And I can't remember who was trying to make the tackle, but he's trying to pull him down like almost inbounds when all he had to do was just shove him out of bounds and he would have been short the first down. And it's
Absolutely.
instead of that, he keeps in bounds and gets, I don't know, another 15, 20 yards or something.
That was the
It was
one that
terrible.
that was the one that he scored on. I remember that. That was the one he
Yes.
scored on.
Oh, that's right. He did score on that one. That's
He,
right. Yes.
he spun off of two of our
Horrible.
defenders and then just went up the sideline, and I was just like, oh my god.
That was terrible. The angles were bad. They were not lined up properly. For one thing, you could see they looked confused. Now, I do think that we got better with that kind of thing, but they were still running right up our gut.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Well, from what I saw, they couldn't they couldn't run the ball as well as we could. I know you say the stats were had them close and everything, but just from what I saw, and I didn't see the whole thing, but it looked like to me we were holding them pretty well on the run at times.
We were. We actually were holding them very well to the run. So that I didn't have a problem with that because, like I said, the stats on the run were not that far off. I mean, we beat them on the
Yeah.
ground by maybe about 5 or 10 yards, if that. In the passing, they beat us maybe about 40 yards, if that. So that's what I'm saying. Like I keep telling everybody, the stats weren't that far off. It was just the gameplay and the basics, and we were getting beat by
Well,
fundamentals.
it's the penalties, and I don't care what anybody says. You cannot tell me referees can't be bought off.
No, it just goes to prove what Pam was been saying on this platform, and because Pam was saying in other platforms, and sort of what's the word, sort of like brushing it off. But I spoke to somebody this morning who also watched the game, and they told me the same thing Pam was telling me, and um, I've sort of been seeing it, but now it's more of a confirmation to me. But the thing is, like with the coaches and the players, you still have to rise to the point where when they do these bad callings, you can still win the game even with the bad calling. If you can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand, but when it's so blatant obvious and so blatantly one-sided,
Mm,
it gets a little ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and I do believe they can be bought off. I do believe they are bought off. Why else would they do it if they're not getting something out of it? But I also think that Dolphin Winners is right because it's got a lot to do with Vegas. It's all about money.
mm,
And
that's
just
sad.
to go off topic just a little bit, but to say where I think the NFL is at, if you look at that game last night and all they're showing is Taylor Swift and talking about, Kelsey and all this kind of stuff, I'm like, are you kidding me? This is a football game. I had to turn that game off because I couldn't stand to watch that crap anymore.
They
This
usually
isn't
talk
about
Yeah,
a little girl that sings. This is an NFL football game.
Hmm.
They should have talked
I
about
agree
the
with you.
hole.
I mean,
They should have talked about the hole that helped them win the fucking game. That's what they should have talked about.
I agree. It's ridiculous when, you're hearing more about two people's relationship than you are the game, and we're supposed to be watching a football game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of more personal anyway. It's quite a few NFL players that are in relationships or married to lady entertainers. So you don't hear much about them, but why would you broadcast Taylor Swift? And I kind of like her, and Kelsey. Why would you broadcast that? Because this is the NFL. And then the other thing is back, back in the days, the Vegas situation wasn't so strong in the NFL. The NFL was real football, and it's sad to see it coming to, to see it changing the way it is, and what have you. And if they keep going the way they're going, I think the NFL going to start losing a lot of people watching, and they're going to find another sports to watch because it's just it shouldn't be going, it shouldn't be, because like I said, I spoke to somebody this morning and they were just I mean, that's the first thing we were talking about. So Mr. Pokey, you ain't gonna believe how the ref looked like the game was thrown. He said, and this person kept saying it looked like the game was thrown in favor of the Buffalo Bills. It's like they didn't like the way we put this like Color was saying on other platform. They didn't like the way we pull up the 70 burger, and said it's like this is a way of bringing the Dolphins down to where they want us to be. Oh, it's just sad. It's sad to see the NFL going in this direction, and I hope they find a way to correct themselves and let the NFL be what it go, straight out football.
Well, and if I can point out something, I was saying earlier about the fact that our team did not look like they were in the game from the very beginning. They didn't have that team look. They didn't have that let's get it done look. They just looked, asleep from the beginning. And why would they be that way on a game that is so important? Is it because they already knew going in what this was going to look like? They didn't have a
Oh,
chance in
uh,
hell? Is it? I don't know. I mean, I can't explain why they would look so numb looking through an entire game that mattered hugely.
and
Why?
I've seen that in another game that we played, but it was last season. I was thinking the same thing, but I said no. Maybe I'm just you know imagining things. But oh, well, that's a good point, Pam. Because like I said, I was thinking that too last season when I seen a couple like they were actually thrown, but I can't. We can't say that they were, but it sometimes it starts pointing in that direction. I hate to say.
Well, I can say that never in my life have I heard anything about if a ball crosses the white line on a first down, that it's not a first down. I have never in my life. So, and you got the announcers going along with it, going, yeah, you can't cross the white line. I, I, I just, I was absolutely just
You know
flabbergasted.
how
I'm still flabbergasted.
many touchdowns would have not been touchdowns if that rule was actually in
Thank you.
effect?
Thank you. So it's only on touchdowns? Or, I mean, how many times do you see a player with his feet in bounds dive out, get the first down? The ball is not on the green. They literally use the word green and white. They used those
Yeah.
words yesterday. Oh, just, and then I'll also tell you how many times the Dolphins would get something going on offense, and all of a sudden there's a defender down. And out of all the times that they would lay down, um, there was one guy who didn't come back into the game. One guy was running. You could tell he got a cramp. You could see him get it. And he's running like to get our running back. I think it must have been A Chain. He's running to get him, and he is headed towards the sideline, because that's where the running back was. He comes up with like a cramp or something,
I seen that.
and he's right at the sideline. Like, he had to physically restrain himself from going out of bounds. He came back in the field of play and went down in the field of play, so the clock would stop for him and they would get a rest because they're sitting there attending to him on the field. Go back and look at it. I mean, that ain't no exaggeration. If you go back and you watch the replay, you can see where that defender goes, and he's on the sideline. He's right there. Changes momentum, comes into the field of play, and goes down.
Hello, Mike Sherrod. I also want to go. There's a Facebook user here. I don't know who it is. Buffalo always out physicals us. Always. We got our butts beat. Refs didn't cause us to lose by 28. No, but if the refs would have played a fair game, we wouldn't have lost by 28. We might have even had a chance of winning.
We are a high-flying offense that clearly can strike 21 points in a quarter or more. I mean, did we not just see that? Did we not see that last season against Baltimore? Don't tell me that it didn't matter and that 28 points was too much for us to overcome. It did matter, and it's not too much for us to overcome. Sure, we didn't play that great. I will give you that.
Well,
But
yeah, every time we were starting to do something, here comes a flag. Here comes a flag.
well, let
every
me ask
time.
y'all this. Do y'all think the
Thank you,
NFL
Samantha.
is in some ways not how shall I put it? With the way Coach McDaniels is coaching, to me he's about to flip the NFL on his head. Do y'all think that maybe that's the reason that they may be trying to maybe they're trying to tone them down? I'm just asking because I'm not too sure
They
myself.
shouldn't be trying to tone anything down. They should let it be. Let the players play. And if it's not a true foul, don't call it. Don't call one side or the other. Don't be
One side or
calling
the
because
other.
of money.
You can
No,
call every play a foul if you want to. I don't care, as long as you're doing on both sides. I don't care. You want to make up new rules? You want to say you can't look at somebody cross-eyed? Go ahead. Just call it the same on both sides of the ball. And
Yes,
as far as the
100%.
NFL, wanting to tone down McDaniel, you could maybe say that, but the thing is the NFL has had a history of hating the Dolphins. I mean, it
that
is,
that's true. That's true.
it's not new, this ref thing.
Mm-mm.
It's just getting more blatant.
What you about to say, Dolphin winners?
I'll say this to you, Mr. Paul. I mean, it's a very in-depth answer that I don't want to put on this platform because we could get demonetized
Oh,
unless
no, no, no! Don't do that!
it's.
Don't do it! Don't
But
do it!
I'll say this
Don't
to
do
you.
it!
I feel that is a deeper sense into the form of the word in all sporting events that have some type of control or insight into outcomes. And I will just leave it as that.
Hmm.
That's just my thoughts.
Okay, okay. On that, no, don't. If I ask a question that shouldn't be asked, just let me know. So, because I'm not trying,
I'm a
Mhm.
I'm
real
not trying to
listen.
get nobody in
I'm a
trouble.
real.
No, I
I'm a
don't want
real.
to get anybody in
No,
trouble.
you're
I'm a
fine,
real
Mr. Paul.
dude.
You're fine.
You're fine, Mr. Pope, but I'm a real dude, and I do believe in a lot of conspiracy theories as well. So I tell a lot of people, if
Mm,
you really want the honest truth, I can answer certain things, but I won't do it on a platform where it
there
will
you go.
cause YouTube to demonetize us, and I don't want to do that.
Right.
Well, I can
Gotcha.
tell you, if you take a look at McDaniel's uh, press conference after the game, when he was asked about that lack of the first down, where he challenged the call, he doesn't answer the question. You can see that the man is holding back for fear of being fined for answering the question.
Mm,
Why is our coach throwing a flag on a play like that if the rule is not what we all know it to be. Just leave it there.
Gotcha.
I mean, our coach knows the rules. He threw that flag because he knew it was crap. And as one of my buzz statements that I've said for years, crap is king. It rules large.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, I guess Wednesday night we'll be talking about the Giants. We'll be talking about this game some more because I'm pretty sure Red, White, and Bills will be joining us, and he's a good Bills fan. He's not one of the others.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his own talk show as well. But
Yes, he's a pretty decent guy. Yep, and I would like to ask him about that first down, no first down, because I just want to see what he would say.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but we're going to be discussing the Giants game, and everyone here is more than welcome to join us on Wednesday night as usual, because we are a fan-based podcast, talk show, whatever you want to call us. We just gotta relax and breathe on our own, and as they say, check our pulse right now because we are all overheated about this game and about the bullshit calls and about our lack of defense. But as Fangio said at one point in one of the press conferences, that he did not have what he thought would be his primary defense.
Right.
And that he had to work with what he had.
Yep.
Okay. I can kind of understand that too.
But I could tell you, Christian Wilkins was being double teamed. Go back and look. Double teamed the entire game. I don't understand why we weren't doubling up on Diggs. What was that about? You're gonna leave Cater out there by himself on Diggs over and over? Doesn't make any sense to my brain.
I was so sick. I was telling everybody, how do you leave this man on the island with him and continue to leave him on the island with him, and you make no adjustment whatsoever? And I'm just sitting there shaking my head like, why? Yes. Why is this going down like this? Why are we not making any adjustments? Why are we leaving Kohu on the island with, like you guys said, one of the best wide receivers in the game? We know what Stephon Diggs is possible and capable of, and that's the scary part.
And when you think about that aspect of it, I mean, Cater, is a fairly young guy, and I don't like the fact that we put him out there, didn't really back him up in any kind of way where, he had some success, but then of course they threw the flags on him. So I don't like what that might do to his psyche. Hopefully he's going to come out of that and go, man, I ain't shutting down. Point. But, I don't like that.
What happened? Xavier Howard. Was he hurt?
No, he just didn't know what it was. Coach Fangio decided to put Kohu on Diggs. That was just what it was. And he said he didn't like it, but this is what Coach decided, and this is what it was.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
None of us understood that. None of us did. Because you would want to think you would want to put the best on the best to give a better chance.
Yep.
Unless you want to sit there and say this. We'll have Jalen Ramsey back for the game on week 18. We know that, and we pray to have him for that game because we got to see what type of condition he's going to be in when he comes back.
And you have to wonder, why was Diggs wide ass open? I mean, way wide open multiple times. What was going on with that? How do you leave that guy wide open?
I mean, there was push offs that they're calling pass interference and stuff on us. when it's him pushing off on us.
Yep, totally
Oh,
happened.
that play. Oh my God. Yeah. She. He's the one pushing off on Kohu. And I'm like, how you get Kohu? The only reason why Kohu got paid, the only reason why Kohu got called for the pass interference was okay, because he didn't sit there. The only reason why he got called for that was because he didn't look back for the ball. If he would have
Didn't
looked
turn his
back
head.
for the ball, he would
Yep,
have never. It would have been an offensive pass interference instead of a defensive pass interference. He would have
exactly.
played the ball, and that's exactly the reason why he got called for that pass interference call. And it killed me because I know if he would have looked, at least if he would have played the ball and then looked back, okay, I would have been like, oh, offensive pass interference. But then I'm sitting there like, man, what the hell is going on? And voila.
Mm.
But I can tell you that their defender, can't tell you his name. I can go back and look at my notes. I got notes. Did the exact same thing, only he was interfering. He never looked back at the ball. And guess what? There was no flag.
No flag.
Mm.
You know, like I don't care. Like I said, you want to call it, you know, you looked at me wrong, go ahead, but call it the same. And it wasn't.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, I gotta see this. I definitely got to see this game. Listen, I will stay on here, but I missed an important phone call, and I'm about to make that call back. So I'm gonna try. If you guys still on here, I try to jump back on. If not, I
Yeah, I don't know. I
see
don't
you
know how
guys
long
later.
we're staying on today, Mr. Polk. I don't think that's going to be that much longer, but we'll see you Wednesday night.
It sounds
We'll see
sounds
you
like a
out there,
plan.
Mr. Polk. As
Okay
We
always.
then,
love you,
fam.
Mr.
Thank
Polk.
guys to Dolphin winners. I see you later, my brother.
Peace, love,
All
and
right,
fins up, brother.
all right, y'all take care now.
You too now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. Uh,
The one thing we got after a game like this, the one thing we got is our Dolphin family. That is what we have. We had it going into this game. We got it coming out of this game. And we'll have it next week. We'll have it next season. We have our Dolphin family. And we have to stick together and stick behind our team.
That's
yeah.
what you're supposed to do, Cam. I mean, I will say this: the sky is not falling, but it hurts because this is not what the result that we want. And to see what we just said there, I feel like we're like right. I still do feel like we're right at the drawing board, especially when it comes to defense. Because you can't talk anything about being anywhere in February if you don't even have, or even making a playoff run. If you can't sit there and get this together right now, because we can't have another game like
No, and I'll tell you something else too. This really um, is puzzling because last season we played them so much better. And this season we are a better team. So go figure that. What is the difference? We all know what it is. We all know what it is. Referees being out of control. They're always out of control,
Well,
but this was huge.
it's more than it's more than the referees. I don't. It was quite obvious to me that the zone is not working. Why are we playing the zone when it's not working?
Well, and as I was saying when we first started, zone is one thing, but you know, out in outer space, the cushion was so beyond. That's not how zone works. You're in the zone where the receivers are. That's where you are. We weren't anywhere near them. The cushion we were giving them was just, it was like, what are you doing? It was shocking.
Yes, I agree.
I'm like this, guys. I mean, like Papa Paul said, we will be talking more about this on Wednesday, and I know we gotta turn the page and get ready for the Giants, and they're not nobody to sneeze at either, because they're gonna look at the game plan the Buffalo Bills just did against us. You think they're not going to use that game plan, and Dabo So trust and believe.
And the great
Yeah.
words of Bob Seger, turn the page. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yep. Most definitely. We just got to trust and believe, truthfully. I mean, I do believe in my Dolphins. I'm a Dolphin supporter. I've seen a lot worse. And we are not that team these days. We are better than that. And we just got to, when it comes to games that we know are going to be, the refs are going to be against us, like it's like, whenever you play certain teams, the refs are against you. We just got to be that much more cautious.
That's right.
And when
We
I say
can't
that,
leave it up to them. We can't leave it up to them. We have to take it out of their hands and play better.
yeah. And when we have guys out like we did this game, the backups really need to step up.
Yeah, like we've seen, the previous 3 games. Next man up. How much did we see that? A lot. But not yesterday.
I mean, we did mention that I was a little worried. I was a little worried about our depth. That's the problem. This is definitely showing, especially like I said, at the center position. Our depth
Right.
didn't look good. We didn't look good yesterday. I mean, we
Well,
didn't have any mishaps that we have to. This is where, like I told people, these were the important games where you got marked off on the counter. Things a team like a Buffalo.
I told Kristen yesterday she's not allowed to have her birthday on a game day anymore.
That's funny.
Still recovering. I guess still recovering.
Oh, I recovered last night. I told you I got home from the game last night. I laid down in my chair and passed out.
I was so worked up I couldn't pass out. I'm telling you, I was so worked up. Oh my goodness, I was worked up.
I had like 8 beers and a shot of Patron and that and the just in the game time period, and I was tired with the food I ate. Which I shouldn't have been drinking beer, but it was cheaper than the drinks because a shot of Patron was $10 a shot.
Wow.
Yeah, it was over $10. It was like $10.25 or $10.49 a shot.
Oh, no.
And I ordered 4 of them. One for me, one for Kristen, one for Mona, one for Scooby, and that jumped my bill up $42 basically.
$40 right there.
Like a 40 burger on Papa Paul right there.
Yes.
Hey.
It blew my mind. I didn't know they were that expensive there.
Oh yeah. Well, if you didn't know, now you know.
Yeah.
That's very
that won't be a
expensive.
repeat of that.
No, that's very expensive. Goodness. What a shame.
Yeah, yes, Vanessa, I agree. I should only drink those when we are winning. I was just celebrating Kristen's birthday. I was celebrating Kristen's birthday with that shot for her.
I'll say this. I'm gonna suck it off of you, Paul. Me and my brother went to Buffalo Wild Wings here, and my bill all together with tip was $150. And I was drinking those of Captain and Coke. I had about 7 of those, and then we ordered. I had boneless wings, and I got my brother some wings, and he got a couple Coronas and fries. So my tab alone, the liquor wise, I know those Captain and Cokes were not cheap. So trust and believe.
$150?
$150.
Well, I can't complain then really because I had 2 buckets of beers. And the bucket of beers there are a 6-pack, and it was only $18 a bucket.
Not bad.
No, that's not too bad.
Then we had the big platter of nachos for our little table that people were sitting at, and I don't know if we had any other food, but can't remember if we had any other food or not. That was on my bill. But then we had the 4 shots. So including tip, my bill came out to 120.
That's not bad.
You know, it was
No, not too
before
bad.
that. No, before that it was like $96. So I just threw him 120. He's been our regular waiter the last couple times we've had our watch parties there. So, and then I can't wait. I can't wait for the Germany game though, Miss Pam.
Yeah, I'm looking very forward to being there. And like I said, we're going to pick up Billy Bozo. He's coming as well. I think he's back to Billy Birch right now. I think we can call him Billy Birch now. But yeah, me and my Billy and that Billy are all coming. Papa Paul and Shake Money will be meeting us there. So it should be a nice group.
Yeah, yeah. It should be every bit as big as yesterday, if not bigger.
Nice. I'll be at work.
Well, we'll keep you in mind, brother. We'll do some live streaming. We'll do some live streaming from our party.
Well, don't worry, I'll be watching.
My stream will be live there, Dolphin Winners. I'll be going live from there with my regular stream. So you will be able to be in touch with us.
I appreciate it. You already know. But like I said, if it wasn't for you, it wasn't for Paris, and a lot of people, you guys that do stream, and y'all lifesavers. Seriously, y'all lifesavers for a lot of people, not just nationally, but globally. So, yes, continue doing what you guys doing.
I hope we're able to keep doing it. I keep wondering if they're going to get us one of these times, but that's why we try to stream just inside the group, not even on my page or anything, just inside the group, and only have people share it inside the group. And then that way,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't share it outside the group, folks, please.
Exactly.
Well, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a day. We've ranted and raved. We'll discuss it all more Wednesday night. And if anybody has any questions, just go ahead and ask them Wednesday night at the show. 8:45 Wednesday night. Dolphin Winners, myself, Miss Pam, John O'Hanlon, Ethan Stepp, Tom O'Gara, and whoever else might pop in. Real quick before I leave, did y'all see who popped in at Allie's watch party?
No, who popped in?
Zach Thomas.
Oh my gosh! How awesome!
Unannounced too. He just popped up.
Yeah, supposedly he was on his way home from Bradenton, and he wanted to stop somewhere where one of the clubs were having their watch party, and it was Allie's club and everything. And he stopped in and spent time with them and everything.
I'm so happy for her. That is amazing. So happy for all those fans that were there.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Me too. Very jelly. I'm so jelly.
Well, guys, y'all have a wonderful day. Thank God for seeing another one, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Everyone out there, thank you for joining us. We love everybody. Peace, love, and fins up, family.
Peace, love,
and fins up, everybody. Thanks, Papa Paul. Bye.
Thanks, Papa Paul.
You're welcome.